How many of you believe that the history books tell the whole story of what happened to the settlers in these mountains?
I've been a reservation ranger for 22 years, and I've seen things that make those books look like fairy tales.
My name is Elias, and I patrol the northern boundary of the reservation.
It's a stretch of land so rugged that even the state police refuse to enter once the sun drops below the ridgeline.
I was tracking a rogue elk when I noticed the silence.
You learn to listen to the woods, and when that rhythm breaks, you stop.
I stopped.
I moved toward a small clearing, shielded by a thicket of ancient cedar, and that is where I saw it.
Arranged in a near-perfect circle were trade goods, dozens of them spread out on the moss like an offering.
I didn't touch them. I pulled out my radio to call it in, but the device was dead.
That was the moment I realized I wasn't alone.
I felt a gaze on the back of my neck, a prickling sensation that usually signals a predator.
Standing just beyond the tree line was a man.
He wore buckskins that were stiff with age, and his eyes were dark, hollow pits.
I backed away, slowly keeping my eyes on him. My heart was slamming against my ribs like a trapped bird.
I kept my voice steady, whispering a prayer in the old tongue.
Around the perimeter of the clearing, tucked into the roots of the trees, were small leather pouches.
Each pouch held a name, carved into a piece of wood. My own great-grandfather's name was on the first one I saw. The figure in the woods let out a sound then, a vibration that shook the very marrow of my bones. I made it back to my truck, my hands shaking so violently I could barely turn the ignition. As I drove away, the engine sputtered and died twice before finally roaring to life.
I didn't look back until I was miles away, parked under the harsh, buzzing lights of the station.
I realized then that you don't find these things by accident.
The woods decide when you are ready to see the truth. I went back the next day with 2 other rangers I trusted with my life. We walked for hours, marking the trees and checking the coordinates. But when we reached the clearing, there was nothing left. But that night, I found a small, rusted iron trade knife resting on the dashboard. I hadn't touched it, and I hadn't brought it home. Yet there it was, a piece of a 170-year-old debt.
I've spent the last few weeks watching the perimeter and checking the logs.
I've started to notice patterns in the disappearances that aren't random. The wilderness is a living entity that demands balance. If you ever find yourself wandering deep into the woods, do not stop to look.
You might see a pile of stones or a circle of objects that don't belong.
Do not reach out to touch them, and do not try to take them home.
I still see him sometimes, standing at the edge of my vision.
He's waiting for the next transaction, waiting for the next debt.
I know my time as a ranger is coming to an end. My grandfather said the wilderness is where the past and present live together. If you go looking for the truth, you might find it destroys you.
I've spent my life protecting people, but the wild was never the enemy.
I'm leaving the keys to the station on the desk tonight.
I'm not going back to the basin, but I know that won't save me.
The woods have a way of finding you, no matter where you hide.
Listen to me closely if you're planning a trip to the mountains. Stay on the trail and keep your eyes forward. If you hear a voice calling your name, do not answer.
Out there, in the silence of the deep woods, the dead don't stay dead.
They just wait for the right moment to claim what is owed. I'm walking out into the dark tonight to join the collection.
The wind is picking up, and I can hear the voices whispering.
They're telling me it's time to go home.
The ledger is open, and my name is at the bottom of the final page.
The wind is picking up, and I can hear them now.
The voices of all those who came before me, whispering from the canopy of the pines.
They're telling me it's time to go home.
The ledger is open, and my name is at the bottom of the final page.
You think you know the secrets of the mountains?
You think you know what happens when the sun goes down?
You don't know anything.
And if you're lucky, you never will.
The woods are calling, but you shouldn't answer.
You really, really shouldn't answer. Because once you step into the unseen wilderness, you don't just leave your life behind.
You leave your soul as an offering.
How many of you believe that the history books tell the whole story of what happened to the settlers in these mountains?
How many of you truly believe you are safe?
The silence is closing in, and I can see the figures now. Standing between the trees, their eyes glowing like cold, dying embers. They aren't looking for a fight. They aren't looking for a conversation. They are just waiting for me to step across the boundary.
And I know as I walk toward them that the circle is finally complete. The trade is made.
The debt is settled.
And the woods will finally be quiet again.
Take my warning, you fellow trackers, you wanderers, you dreamers. Stay away from the deep ridges. Stay away from the places where the air goes still and the birds stop singing. The mountains are not yours to explore. They are not yours to conquer. They belong to something much older, something much hungrier, and something that has been waiting for you to walk into the circle for a very, very long time.
I can hear the rustle of the buckskins now, a dry, papery sound like dead leaves in the autumn wind.
He's here. He's waiting. And I have to go, because if I don't, he'll come looking for someone else. I would rather face the shadow than let it find someone who still has a chance to turn back. This is my final log, my final confession. If you find this, burn it. Don't go looking for the clearing. Don't go looking for the truth. Just walk away. And pray that the forest doesn't decide it needs you too. Because the wilderness doesn't care about your life, your family, or your history. It only cares about the balance, and the balance is always tipped in favor of the dark. The light is failing, and the shadows are stretching out to meet me. It's funny. In the end, it doesn't feel like fear anymore. It feels like returning to a place I've known all my life. Goodbye. And whatever you do, do not look behind you when you hear the twigs snapping in the dark. The trees are watching. The earth is listening. And the mountains are always, always hungry. How many of you believe that the history books tell the whole story of what happened to the settlers in these mountains? The answer is etched into the very soil you walk upon, if you only had the courage to look. But trust me, you don't. You really don't. The wind is howling now. A low, mournful sound that carries the weight of 170 years of forgotten names. I'm stepping into the trees, and I know I won't be coming out the other side.
But at least I know the truth.
At least I know why the silence is so heavy. At least I know that the woods are never, ever empty. Stay in the light.
Stay on the pavement.
Stay away from the edge of the world. Because out there, beyond the reach of the cell towers and the park rangers, the ancient ones are waiting. And they have a very long list of debts to collect.
How many of you believe that the history books tell the whole story of what happened to the settlers in these mountains?
I used to think I knew. I used to think I was the one in control. But out here, there is no control. There is only the hunt, and the offering, and the cold, unblinking eyes of the forest.
I'm walking in now.
I can see the clearing.
It's glowing with a soft, pale light, and I can see them all standing in a perfect circle, waiting for me to take my place.
It's a beautiful, terrible sight.
And for the first time in my life, I'm not afraid.
The trade is finished. The history is written. And the wilderness is finally satisfied. Or maybe it's just getting started with you.
How many of you believe that the history books tell the whole story of what happened to the settlers in these mountains?
Think about that the next time you hear the wind whisper your name from the trees. Think about that and keep walking. Don't look back. Don't listen. Just keep walking. Because once you hear the call, you're already part of the ledger. You're already part of the sacrifice. And there is no way to turn back the clock.
There is no way to rewrite the history of the deep, dark woods.
There is only the silence.
And the waiting. And the hunger that never, ever ends. How many of you believe that the history books tell the whole story of what happened to the settlers in these mountains? How many of you think you can survive the truth? I hope you're right.
I truly hope you're right.
But if you're like me, you'll realize too late that the woods were never really ours to begin with.
We were just visitors, passing through a land that was always meant to be someone else's.
The circle is closing.
The trade is complete. And I am finally at peace.
Goodbye.
And may you never find what I found in the heart of the unseen wilderness. How many of you believe that the history books tell the whole story of what happened to the settlers in these mountains?
I used to too.
Until I found the circle. Until I saw the list.
Until I realized that the forest never forgets a debt.
Listen to the wing. It's whispering the names of the lost.
Run as fast as you can. The only way to survive is to never answer. Look at the trees. Look at the shadows.
Look at the way the light dies.
That's the real story.
The air is getting thinner now.
The trees are leaning in.
They're waiting for me.
I'm ready to stop running. I hope you're happy with your ignorance. I hope you're happy with your comfortable lives.
Because out here, the truth is a predator. It's always on the hunt.
The circle is complete.
The trade is made. I am finally home.
Just pray you're not the one standing in the clearing. How many of you?
The woods are listening.
They have a memory that lasts forever. Your name might be next.
I don't believe it anymore.
Not after what I've seen.
The wilderness is not a place. It's a hunger.
The question isn't whether you believe it. Are you ready to face the answer?
The answer is waiting in the trees.
It's not going to wait forever. Think about that very carefully.
Stay out of the woods.
Stay away from the things waiting in the dark.
Once you find the truth, there's no going back.
It's a simple question, isn't it?
The answer is anything but simple.
The answer is deep and dark. It's waiting where the paved roads end. How many of you believe that the history books tell the whole story of what happened to the settlers in these mountains?
I'm done with the stories, the lies, and the history books.
I'm ready for the truth, even if it consumes everything.
The truth is, the woods are hungry, and they're always looking for someone new to feed.
They don't care about your life or your family.
They only care about the balance, and it's always tipped in favor of the dark. Just remember one thing.
If you hear someone calling your name from the trees, don't answer.
Don't look back. Don't stop. Just keep walking.
Because the woods are calling, and they have a way of making sure you never leave. They are patient, and they are relentless. They wait for the right moment to claim what is owed. How many of you believe that the history books tell the whole story of what happened to the settlers in these mountains? How many of you?
Because the trees are listening, and they know everything.
Think about the silence.
Think about the shadows.
Think about the things that watch from the dark.
And then stay away. Stay away for your own sake.
Because the woods are never, ever empty.
And the hunger never, ever ends.
It is a cycle that has been turning for centuries, and it will continue long after we are gone. How many of you believe that the history books tell the whole story of what happened to the settlers in these mountains? How many of you believe that?
Because I don't. Not anymore.
Not after what I've seen.
Not after what I've done.
Not after what I've become.
The wilderness is not a place. It's a hunger, and it's coming for us all.
The answer is out there.
In the deep, dark woods.
Where the paved roads end and the ancient rules begin.
Where the shadows are long and the silence is heavy.
Where the truth is waiting for someone to find it.
I'm standing right at the edge of the clearing.
The silence out here is just heavy, you know?
It feels like the whole forest is holding its breath. I'm scanning the trees, but the fog is just too thick. Every shadow I see seems to be moving on its own.
My radio's dead, and I'm totally on my own out here.
Did you hear that? It sounds like dry leaves.
It's that papery rustle again, right above me.
I know he's here, waiting in the shadows.
I turned around, and there he was.
He's wearing those old, stiff buckskins.
His eyes are just empty, dark pits.
He didn't say a word, but I heard him.
He's waiting for the debt to be paid. I'm the final piece of this whole thing.
I'm backing away, nice and slow.
If I run, I know he'll come after me.
I'm not going to give him the satisfaction of a chase.
I'm whispering the old prayer my grandfather taught me.
The words feel so strange, but they're all I've got.
The forest is listening to every single word.
I found these little leather pouches in the roots. Each one has a name carved into a piece of wood.
My great-grandfather's name is right there on the first one.
That sound, it just shook me to my core. It's like a lock closing on my life.
I'm running, and I'm not looking back. My hands are shaking so bad I can't even start the truck.
Come on, just start, please.
I'm getting out of here, but I know it's not over.
I didn't look back until I was miles away.
The engine sputtered, but I kept driving. I just needed to get out of there.
The station lights were the only thing that felt real. I sat there for a while, just trying to breathe. The silence of the parking lot was almost deafening. I brought 2 guys I trusted with my life. We walked for hours, marking the trees as we went. The woods felt different in the daylight, but the feeling was still there. When we reached the clearing, there was nothing. No beads, no knives, no bone carvings. The forest had moved on, or maybe it had hidden the evidence.
I found it sitting right there on my dashboard.
I hadn't touched it. I hadn't brought it home.
It was a piece of a debt that was never mine.
I started to notice patterns in the disappearances.
They weren't random. They were calculated. The wilderness is a living, breathing entity.
If you see something out of place, don't touch it.
The forest doesn't give anything away for free. The weight of this secret is getting heavier. I still see him sometimes, standing at the edge of the trees. He's waiting for the next debt to be called in. I know my time as a ranger is coming to an end. The wilderness was never the enemy. The enemy is the history we try to bury.
I'm leaving the keys on the desk tonight.
I'm walking out into the dark tonight.
The wind is whispering the names of the lost.
My name is at the bottom of the final page.
I'm walking into the dark now. The trees feel like they're closing in on me.
I can hear him just behind the pines.
I'm back at the clearing.
It's glowing with this weird, pale light.
Everything is just dead silent.
They're all standing there, waiting for me.
I can see them now, just shadows in the trees.
They've been waiting a long, long time. I'm not afraid anymore.
It's time to finish this.
I'm finally coming home. He's reaching out to me. I guess this is the trade. It's finally happening.
The light is getting so bright.
I can't see anything anymore.
It's all over. The woods are quiet again, just like they were before. The ledger is closed. The station is empty now. Just a little pouch left behind, waiting for the next one. Everything is just as he left it, but he's gone now. The woods don't care.
Stay out of the woods.
Don't look back. The hunger never ends. The station is quiet now, just like he left it. Everything he spent his life protecting is just sitting here, gathering dust. It's like the forest is waiting for someone else to pick up the slack. The woods don't care about our schedules or our rules. They just keep on growing, hungry for whatever comes next. You can feel the weight of it in the air tonight.
This is where the ledger gets written.
It's a perfect circle hidden away from anyone who isn't looking for trouble.
The forest holds its breath, waiting for the next payment.
There's something standing just at the edge of your vision.
It's not quite human, and it's definitely not from our time.
It's just waiting for the next name to be added to the list.
Listen closely, and you might hear your own name.
The wind isn't just moving the leaves, it's telling a story.
A story that's been going on for nearly 2 centuries.
The equipment doesn't work right out here. It's like the forest is trying to communicate, but the message is broken.
You don't want to know what it's trying to say.
Look at the map and you'll see the pattern. These aren't just accidents, they're calculated. The wilderness is keeping track of every single one of us. The woods are getting closer every night. You can hear the heartbeat of the mountain if you listen hard enough.
It's a sound that never stops, and it never sleeps.
It just appeared here, out of nowhere. A piece of a 170-year-old debt. You don't find these things by accident.
The ledger is open, and it's never going to be full.
Stay away from the woods and stay away from the truth. Because once you hear the call, you're already part of the sacrifice. I'm leaving the keys on the desk tonight. I'm not going back to the basin. But I know that won't save me. The wind is picking up. I can hear them now. The voices of all those who came before me. They're telling me it's time to go home. The silence is closing in. I can see the figures now, standing between the trees. They're just waiting for me to step across the boundary.
I can hear the rustle of the buckskins now.
He's here. He's waiting. The light is failing. It doesn't feel like fear anymore. It feels like returning to a place I've known all my life. The wind is howling now. I'm stepping into the trees. I know I won't be coming out the other side. I'm walking in now.
I can see the clearing. It's glowing with a soft, pale light.
I can see them all, standing in a perfect circle, waiting for me to take my place.
It's a beautiful, terrible sight.
The trade is finished. The history is written.
And the wilderness is finally satisfied.
Think about that the next time you hear the wind whisper your name from the trees. Think about that and keep walking. Don't look back. Don't listen. Just keep walking. The clearing is empty now. It's like the forest just wiped everything away. There's nothing left to show what happened here. I thought they were all gone.
But then I saw it tucked into the roots.
A little leather pouch just waiting there. The woods aren't just trees and dirt. They're a ledger, keeping track of everything.
And they never, ever forget a death.
I didn't bring this home. I didn't even touch it. Yet here it is, sitting right in my truck. I see him sometimes, just at the edge of my vision. He's waiting for the next transaction. He's waiting for the debt to be called in. I'm leaving the keys on the desk tonight. I'm not going back to the basin. But I know that won't save me. The wind is picking up now.
I can hear them, the voices of those who came before.
They're telling me it's time to go home. I can see the clearing now. It's glowing with a light that doesn't belong to the sun. And for the first time, I'm not afraid. The circle is closing. The trade is complete. And I am finally at peace. The woods are quiet again. But don't be fooled. The hunger is still there, waiting for the next name on the list. The moss is already reclaiming the circle,
It's like the forest just wants to forget I was ever here. But the wind, it's still whispering. I left the keys right there on the desk. They're just sitting there, waiting for someone else to pick them up.
Nobody's gonna come for them, though.
This is where the pavement ends. Most people don't look past the sign.
They don't know what's waiting in the dark. I spent years marking these spots on the map.
I thought I was tracking accidents. I was just tracking the ledger. Can you hear that?
It's like they're trying to get inside.
They're never gonna stop.
The radio. It shouldn't be working.
That's not my voice.
It's calling for me.
Look at the faces.
They're disappearing. Just like the names in the pouches.
I'm not afraid anymore.
It's time to finish the trade.
I'm finally going home.
Don't follow me.
Just stay in the light.
And pray the forest doesn't want you too. The woods are quiet now.
But don't be fooled.
They're always waiting.
The moss is already taking back the clearing. It's like the forest is erasing everything that happened here.
You can barely see the names on the wood anymore.
He's still standing there in the shadows, watching, waiting for the next person to wander in.
He doesn't even blink. He just stares.
Listen to that wind. It's not just air moving. It sounds like voices, doesn't it?
They're all calling out from the trees.
Found another one of those pouches. It's been here for a long, long time.
Every name in here is a life that was traded away.
The light just doesn't reach this part of the woods.
It's like the shadows are trying to grab you.
You can feel the hunger in the air.
The radio finally gave up the ghost.
It's just a piece of junk now.
But I think it said everything it needed to.
Look at that frost on the window. It's like the forest is trying to freeze us out.
They're watching. I know they are.
The keys are just sitting there, gathering dust.
Nobody's coming back for them. The ledger is closed and the story's over.
The woods are quiet again. But don't let that fool you.
They're always waiting for the next name.
Stay out of the woods.
Just stay on the pavement.
Because the mountains are always hungry.